to conclude, we should ask, I think, what does the foregoing analysis of these different sites in the Indus civilization lead us to surmise? Now, in the first place, I think, as far as the distribution of sites is concerned, we find that they are all well integrated. All the sites are agriculturally rich, right? They were extremely fertile regions and they had abundance of natural resources. And last but not least, all these sites had external and internal trade routes. Now, if we come to the question of state formation, like what kind of a government did the Indus cities have, we have to conclude that towards the end of the Indus civilization, but beginning from the time of mature Harappan phase, we witness the dominance of Mohenjodaro to some extent. That is, prior to 2500 BC, maybe all these cities were autonomous city-states. They were not politically dominated by any particular power. After 2500 BC, there is evidence of a striking uniformity among all the centers, among all the sites in Indus civilization. Now, this may have been achieved by wars and conquests, but the sudden decline of early Kalibangan in 2550 BC and its reconstruction in the uniform Harappan style about 50 to 100 years later seem to point to this direction. Now, Lothal and several other settlements which have been discovered in recent years can also be traced to the mature Harappan phase of rapid expansion and uniform reconstruction. So we can say, I think, that in all probability there was an Indus empire with Mohenjodaro as the capital. In fact, historians Hermann Kulke and Dietmar Rothermund think that, I quote, a new phase of imperial state formation in South Asia.
In this program, we have seen the morphology of most of the excavated sites of the Indus civilization. Obviously, there are differences of opinion regarding some areas which can only be resolved with more scientific study of the artifacts. It is quite evident that the Indus civilization was an agrarian civilization with both internal and external trade. In the early stages, the different cities such as Harappa, Mohenjodaro, Dholavira, Kalibangan were perhaps independent city-states. Gradually, Mohenjodaro seems to emerge as the dominant power. This is clear by the fact that Kalibangan had one architectural style prior to 2500 BC. This style seems to have been abandoned all of a sudden. The city was rebuilt again after a century or so. Now the structures resemble that of Mohenjodaro. Was there a war with Mohenjodaro in which Kalibangan was destroyed and rebuilt by the rulers of Mohenjodaro later? All these are conjectures. More research and analysis of the artifacts will shed light on the situation, and perhaps one day the mist will clear from the face of Indus civilization.